Don't know how much I film with this, but we're going on a Warden's walk. This is the first time I've ever had a chance to do this. Sophie doing the Warden's walk.
A lot of the birds are different names.
Unfortunately, the day of the walk, we had problems with the wind causing a problem with the sound. Here, Sophie was explaining about how someone had seen part of dolphins recently, and she was explaining about whales, etc. We then set off along the east side of the island, and one of the things that was explained was a conservation measure with regards to the eradication of rhododendrons. Now, you may think they look like pretty, but they're actually a menace to Lundy Island because they kill a lot of species and are actually an invader, and part of conservation is their eradication. This couple were the only other couple that came on the walk with me. We continued along the east coast, and then we were brought up to Quarter Wall Cottages, where Sophie explained the bit of the history about the granite mining on Lundy Island, and that some of the cottages, the lower ones, were demolished and taken away.
They often dig up and dig out little artefacts. A gentleman found a 16th century clay pipe, literally a few months ago, out at the castles, and it was perfectly engraved and perfectly preserved, and had just been dug out by rabbits. So
they're called rabbit scrapes, are they?
Yes,
I've never heard of that.
Ah, right. This is a scrape here.
Yeah, I know they do it. I didn't know it was called a scrape.
And it's a way of marking the territory. So that's another.
I didn't know that either.
And that's marking, and that's marking. It's not a hole that's been started.
Oh,
and
that's
then
what I thought it was.
Abandoned.
That's exactly what I thought. Oh, well,
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they scrape, and they've got scent glands on their feet, and they also defecate. And they can do about 20 of these in an evening, and they'll quite happily go. This is why they're quite destructive. You see them all around the island, and it's just little groups of rabbits marking their territory.
That's did you say that was?
Fox moth, F-O-X, as in the mammal.
Right.
And they feed on the heather, so they're ideal for being...
What, the moths or the ponies?
No, sorry, the caterpillars are here as well. They feed on heather, so they've got a good food source here, and they spend quite a long time in this sort of larval stage, in the caterpillar stage, before they eventually, I think in the springtime, turn into a moth.
Sorry.
Right.
We came to this area where the ducks are. It's round about Quarter Wall, and the warden explained about the wildlife there. Then we set out along the line of Quarter Wall to go across from the east side of the island to the west side to look at some of the fauna and flora across there. Here Sophie is explaining about a dung beetle that lives on the island. Again, the sound quality is poor because of the wind of that day, and she explained about how you could tell it from the underside markings, and that it's part of the clean-up crew for Lundy Island, and they can get rid of about twice their weight in dung, which is very useful.
Down there are 3 goats, but they're looking for possibly more, near the wall down to the gun battery.
After looking at the goats, we pressed on, and as it was a windy day, the walk was coming to an end, and it just happened to be coming to an end at the Old Light compound where I happened to be staying. And because I had things I had to do, I let them go on because they were just walking down to the tavern. However, these Warden walks are usually on Sundays around about 10:30. You report to the tavern, and it's a good way of finding out about the island's flora, fauna and history. And I would recommend them so you can get to know more of Lundy Island.
When we walked in